Okay,
Ooh,
we're recording.
yes.
At least this time it's not weird.
I know we're not like at the very beginning, except for that picture, which will now become the main picture because that's just how it works.
Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm also recording on my phone. So we have a backup just in case, because I can cut all this out. So
nice.
But yeah, okie dokie. So I guess let's start. So welcome everybody. This is our first podcast. This is we're normal because we are Canadian, and this is all about, Canadian ghost stories and, things that we have, I guess, come across on our investigations. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Rachel, and I've got Kaz, and then Allison will join us at some point later on. And we are a few team members of the Paranormal Seekers. We are a paranormal investigative group that comes out of the Durham region, so Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And we have been in operation since 2004, so 20 years. And yeah, I know, it's crazy when you think about how long it's been.
That's a lot of ghost investigations.
Yeah, a lot. So yeah, so we're gonna just kind of discuss, our investigations and places, as well as other things such as, equipment that's being used, what works best, what doesn't, what we think is a joke, what we think is amazing. We will discuss things like, competition in this paranormal world, and things like, people who say they have certificates, and why you don't believe that kind of stuff. Yes. Well, we're kind of going to go through like a whole bunch of different things. And I think it's just something, there's a lot of paranormal podcasts out there, but none of them are really Canadian.
So it's us. Yay.
No, except for us. So this is, we're going to try it, see how this goes. So, but yeah, so a little bit about myself. So I'm Rachel. I am the founder and lead researcher. Now, I don't like saying lead investigator anymore because I think everybody can take lead on investigating. And it's, I just don't want people to think that I'm always number one, because I have a whole team behind me, and I don't always want to be number one. I want everybody to have that chance. So yeah, so what got me into the whole paranormal world is growing up, I was always surrounded by ghost stories. My grandparents' house was haunted. And I just, kind of fell into it. It's just kind of been a part of my life forever, as far as I'm concerned. As I got older, I went to college. And I met another person in my class who was outed as a psychic during one of our, as we called it, caring and sharing classes. And we hit it off. We just started talking. I just had a picture from my grandparents' house that I wanted her to take a look at, and just said, if you have time, just take a look, let me know. No rush. I'm not like those other people in the class who were like, read my palm, tell me my future. So again, we hit it off, found out she lived just down the street from me, and we were hanging out. We used to go to all these like local places, so cemeteries. We were Ghost Road in Port Perry, Jester's Court, like all these little places where we could just go, right? And one day we decided to go to Parkwood Estate in Oshawa, and it was just for a regular tour, nothing fancy. She had never been. She didn't even know who the McLaughlins were or why they were, had this big house. And poor tour guide, poor tour guide. She kept saying all these things, and he just couldn't give her the answers. So I just sent an email to the curator and asked some questions and asked if we could come after hours for a tour, perhaps. And wasn't expecting much more than a come during tour hours type thing. We'll talk. But no, we got an amazing email back saying, come after hours. You guys can investigate. We'll give you, like the VIP tour. And that's how it all began.
Wow. That's amazing.
I know. It's pretty cool. So yeah. So Kaz, how did you get into all this?
So I was born and raised in England, and we did live in a haunted house, which it's funny when you live in one and it's just normal. It's never anything crazy. My sister would have friends over and stuff would happen and they would lose their minds. But to us, we were like, whatever, it's normal. Also where I lived, there were lots of cemeteries and graveyards, and my grandparents kept us like after school when my parents were working, and they would often take us for walks to cemeteries and graveyards, which was amazing. The one near us was huge. So literally we could walk all the way around it for hours, and it would wear my sister and I out, which is pretty genius. And then, you know, we'd go home. So I became very interested in all that stuff, the macabre. And of course, ghost stories. It just stuck with me. And then I think I think I contacted you guys first, the Paranormal Seekers. My son was doing a project during COVID, and he got to kind of do a project on whatever he wanted. And he and I loved watching the ghost shows. And I'm like, why don't we contact these people? Same thing. I fully thought you'd be like, nope. But you guys were amazing. You're like, yeah, absolutely. We'd love it. Tell us when we can come. And so you and Allison showed up, and you had a bunch of equipment, and you were there for, I'd say we were like an hour or two.
Oh, yeah.
And my son was like, he was so flabbergasted. He forgot all the questions he was supposed to be asking, I think, and like supposed to be writing it down. But you were amazing. So then I started following you guys. And then I did a public event with you guys at Scugog Museum. And then shortly after that, I had about 3 people send me this Facebook page or post that said, hey, we're looking to add to our team. And it was you guys. And I thought, oh, I don't know. I had a lot going on, but maybe. And I did. And here I am.
The rest is history.
Exactly. I can't say I'm the newbie anymore because
No.
I'm not.
No.
But it's been, what, a year and a half? So I know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
I think so.
And it's every time we go out, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm legit doing this, because I've been thinking, like, most of my life, I'd watch those ghost shows and be like, oh man, I'd love it if I could do that. And then now I do. So it's amazing.
And then you realize it's not really what's on TV. I
Yes.
literally sit in the dark a lot by myself, and there's nothing going on.
I know. Or we're just sitting there eating snacks in silence, like, oh,
Exactly.
because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're like, yeah. Yeah. I think I don't think people realize how much doesn't happen versus the 30-minute clip you see on TV of like stuff flying everywhere and ghosts coming out of the walls and demons
Listen,
everywhere.
if we could have that, like,
it would be
I always watch those shows like My Ghost Story and all that kind of stuff, where they, or like Paranormal Caught on Camera, and they always had like these really cool bits, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why can't that happen to us?
I know.
It's just like, why can't I catch that rocking chair rocking? Like, why can't I see this wheelchair going down the hallway? Like, why? How are these people so lucky? No, but
I know.
I know it'll come one day, and we'll probably just stand there with our mouths wide open.
And I'll be like, did anyone record that?
No one, because that's when it happens, when you're not recording or really paying attention. So, but yeah, so so many things to discuss.
I know.
But I stepped on a
piece. And
nothing. But yeah, so it's just, you know, and then like you said, there's a lot of things that people don't realize, like, you know, this does not happen as quickly as you think it does. I've done a lot of recording and filming with production companies and shows, and it's just, you know, you're there for 2 hours to get a 10-minute clip, right?
Yes.
Like, you know, it's like for every hour you might get 1 or 2 minutes of usable footage. And a lot of the times it's just B-roll, which is just, you know, filming just random things, scenery, people talk, like that kind of stuff, which they use for it's B-roll. They just use it for in between stuff. But yeah, it's definitely, it's not like TV. It's funner sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, like, when we get to a place and we do the walk around and set up and stuff, I mean, especially when it's a new place, we're still getting the lay of the land, and we're still trying to figure out if there's electricity running somewhere and that's why equipment's going off, or, is there a draft and that's why you're feeling it. So there's a lot of that going on too. And the shows, they kind of put into a place. It's may have been happening and you don't realize they've been there and they've got all of their stuff up, because that takes time. I think we've only ever used the those CCTV or things that you have one, but that took a long time because you've got to feed all, take them into place and get it set up, and then for the rest of the equipment we have, if we're placed elsewhere, we go set it up and make sure, test it, that it's working. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't realize. And then to do all that, and then we just sit there and we're like, because that happens too. And then I know we've been to places, nothing's happening, and we're like, and then all hell breaks loose 10 minutes before we're about to leave. And then we're like, what just happened?
And and then we're like, why are we leaving?
Yeah, like remember the Thomas. Oh,
you're cutting out.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you're robot-y. No, you're good, but you're frozen.
Okay.
There.
Is it at least frozen on a good picture of me?
It was.
Okay. Because that's the worst. Usually it freezes and I'm looking like Sloth from the Goonies.
Yeah, you just look scared and,
It was all the dramatic effect. There we go.
Exactly. We can just cut it out. We're good.
Exactly. I don't even know what I was saying.
It's okay. You're talking about the Thomas house.
So the Thomas house, we've been there for quite some time and not much was happening at all. And then it was basically the last, I would say, 30 minutes of our investigation that everything happened. And then, of course, you were filming, but not quite at the thing that happened.
Yeah.
And then you stopped recording to review it. And then another amazing thing happened. And then we had to leave.
Yeah.
So it was like, so that's another thing people don't realize is stuff like that happens as well, where you've been there all night and nothing much is going on. And either stuff happens at the end or it doesn't happen at all. That can happen too. And wanted. So sometimes you're going to show up to a place and be like, oh, and that's it.
It's true. It's very true.
So I have no idea if I keep freezing or not. So
you do keep freezing and you go a little robot-y sometimes, but like I said, we can just cut and splice. I can figure it out.
Maybe.
Yeah, she's pretty frozen now. I should take a picture of that face.
That I'm.
Yeah, you're really frozen.
And now
you are very robot-y. I should take a picture of this face. Let me see if I can while I'm. I think she's gone. We'll have to start this over again. She just froze out. Yeah, she's gone. I don't know.
No, where is she?
Somewhere in your house? Mm-hmm. Usually it's pretty good. We're just waiting. Stop. No, mom's call. Hello. Hello. And we're recording. Yay, round 2.
Yay! I've traveled since you saw me last.
Yeah.
The snow was interfering, apparently, with my reception. So I came upstairs and started a fire, and here we are.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
That is perfect. Oh my gosh. So, all right. So let's talk about not our ridiculous backgrounds.
Yeah.
I said mine actually looks really good.
Yours is nice. Like I said, when I was like, where are you? Like, I don't remember your little conservatory at your house, but
no. I wish I had windows like that, but you know.
I know.
Anyways, so yeah, like I know before you cut out, we had to restart this. We were talking about how like things like happen like right before like we are done. Like
Yeah.
we are getting ready to pack up, we're calling it a night. Pardon me, and things just start to happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
people work
crazy. I know. And I don't know if it took that long for them to ramp up or if they were just not interested and then they were like, oh my God, they're leaving, we better get there, or whether I don't know. Or if it's like the energy of us winding down brings, I don't know why all of a sudden they wait till the end and then they're like, and we're like, where were you 4 hours ago? Because we're done. We're going home.
Yeah. So like if people don't follow us, they should. But we do a lot of places in Ontario, but we have actually gone outside into New York. So we're not just Ontario based. We will travel wherever. Because you know.
Unless it's on a plane, because someone doesn't like to fly.
No, I'll drive. I will drive. Road trips are fun.
Yeah, I'll see you there because I'll fly. Although our road trip to New York was fun.
It was. And round 2 will be fun too.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, but yeah, there's just, I don't know. It's just,
I wonder if it's because the fact that sometimes things don't happen till we're about to leave is because there's this whole theory of, you know, like a witching hour or time when spirits come alive. And if it's because we usually leave right around that time, because most of the time we don't get to stay there by ourselves, free reign, and then we lock up when we leave. No, we're usually there with at least one person from the building, a manager, curator, someone. So they want to go home. And we usually have a time that they're like, you can stay till here. And that's why we have to leave when we have to leave. So if stuff's happening and we've got to get out of there, you know, some places are like, yeah, stay. But most of the time they're like, well, so sad. And then we have to leave.
Yeah. But, you know, that's why we are highly respected in this field, if you want to call it, is because we actually take into account what these places want and what they need and what their restrictions are and all of that. And, you know, we respect that and we don't try to push that respect and we don't try to push the boundary or the rule. Right. And, you know, we let them have that control because they want that. So they can still feel like, you know, they're mandate and their all that kind of stuff that they have for like their museums is not being infringed on, and it's going to go well in their favor. So I like that how we do that.
I do too.
And then we always provide them with something like, you know,
whether
it's a story or a video or just something for them. It's going to be and it's their choice if they want us or allow us to share it. But you know, I think that sets us apart from a lot of other places and teams that we do provide this stuff, and we are community based, and we want people to see this stuff, so they go there and they they might have experience, whether it's, you know, in the daytime or if they go on a tour at night or if they have stuff like that wherever these, you know, locations are, and they get to enjoy it and they kind of bring back that, you know, tourism to these places, because some of these places are really down. They're doing their best to keep history alive and to keep that museum culture going, but they're suffering. And I think a lot of us, times when we go, we kind of bring that spooky, and people are really interested in that right now. And if I can help a museum get a few more visitors, and help them, fund their exhibits and stuff, I think we're doing a great job.
I do too. And as I say often, I think the key part to us as well is when we go to a place, there's been a lot of research that's done before we go there. So we're not just walking in and being like, who's here? We're going in with a booklet full of information.
Yeah.
So if something comes up, or if there's like an artifact or something, we have some information about it, which then brings that place to life as well. And how many times have we posted videos or stories about places we've gone to, and people are like, oh my God, that's in my hometown. I didn't even know that's there. And so there's a good chance they're going to go. Or they're like, oh my God, I went to that place when I was younger. It was so good. There's a good chance they're going to go back again. So, I mean, and to be honest, it's highly unlikely one of these places are going to let us go there, do what we do, and then post video if they don't want that reputation, right? So I know before I joined you guys a long time ago, my friend and I went to a restaurant in Etobicoke, and we were told we were allowed to go explore it. But then the dad, who's the actual owner, he let his two sons run it. So they were the ones that let us go in there. The dad showed up and was furious because it was a very high-end restaurant, and he did not want that reputation. Under no circumstances did he want anyone to ever think there was anything more than just elegance and steak or whatever. So we got booted out, but we did capture some stuff before then. But that's what I mean. I don't think places like that are going to let us go in. So the ones that do let us go in and do what we do and then post are the ones that are looking for not even so much like, oh, we're haunted, but just like, look at all the cool stuff we have to offer. And maybe there's a ghost. So I think it's really been good. I mean, I know a certain Pioneer Village was not doing so great, and now there's quite a few people that are like, oh my God, I can't wait to go there. And every time we do a public investigation, it is sold out because people love it.
I'm looking forward to the dog. His nose comes up. But yeah, no, that's true. And that's why we give people permission forms to, these places so they can choose. Yes, I know why you're here. Yes, you release this, or we want to see it first before you release it. And that's why we always get them to sign off on live videos too, because, we're going live. People are going to know where we are right then and there. And I want them to be able to say yes or no so that they can choose that. And if they want that out there, that's amazing. If they don't, still it's, that's good. That's their choice. We're not gonna, fake it. And, she's got to go outside. Dog, she's knocking it on the floor. She's like, I gotta pay. Anyways.
The best would be if you see her in your background somehow.
She's outside,
running by the window.
But yeah, so yeah, that's just that sets us apart. And I think that people like that, like these locations like that, because it gives them the ability to still have a say and we're covering our butts at the same time.
Most definitely.
That's just I think that's what all paranormal groups should do, is that, because it gives that you're in it for the right reasons, and you're giving these locations that ability to still have control over their stories and the history and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it just makes for a really good friendships that can form out, because they know that you are on the right track, you are on the same page as them, and you take it seriously, and you want to keep this history alive in the best way possible.
Where were we recently? Were you totally? There was a big lie kind of made up. Was it the Hinsdale house about the two brothers?
Yeah.
There was, yes. And so you were setting the record straight, which I think is great too, because sometimes with other groups, they go off on like the myths or the legends of the place without actually figuring out the facts. So then you're like, actually, it wasn't an insane assignment, or it wasn't these two brothers that were like killing everybody. And that's really important too, because even though some of these places, you know, have a reputation, it doesn't mean that that's the truth. And I think it's important for people to know that,
Yeah.
so that they're not either like led astray, and just so again, so the history, the actual history, is exposed and given a chance to entice people.
No sensationalizing on this side.
No, not at all. Or fabrication of anything.
Yeah.
Like I used to be like, oh my gosh, you know, we should have more videos of stuff. But I'm like, well, I mean, I think we have great content, and I'm not about to fake stuff for that.
I don't have time to fake stuff.
This is true. Like I kudos to the people that are doing all these things. But I think a lot of it is just them being like, "Whoa," and then they run away, and you never actually see or hear anything.
Listen, I didn't even sensationalize our bat video. I just posted it just as it is, because, you know, that's just how it goes.
We didn't need to do anything there. No CGI, nothing. Those screens were real, and that bat slash pterodactyl was really there.
We could talk about that on a different episode.
That's a whole separate episode.
We can entitle it something like Nature World's Scariest.
Yeah. When nature attacks. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so fun. Wait till Allison gets in on that one.
She
was the one screaming the loudest.
Oh my god, Rachel! That's too funny. That is too funny.
My gosh.
And that's what happens.
Yeah. So what is your, out of everything that you've been on so far in the last, you know, almost 2 years, what was your favorite investigation?
I mean, we always talk about the place that we can't talk about. And that's solely because there was no preparation for everything that happened that day, or night, I should say. Including when we drove up to it, and it was like looming out of the wilderness. And I'm like, what? And then just all hell broke loose. That has been the only place that we haven't even had a chance to unpack, and chaos is happening, and it didn't stop until we left. The only place. Often we get to a place and we're like, oh, this is nice, and then it takes a while to ramp up. But no, this was from the get-go. So I do really think that's way up in my top 3 because of that. I think the Thomas house, like I was talking about before, even though it was really small and nothing much was happening, the end where all that stuff did happen was so incredible. And
your dancers.
We like tried to debunk what happened so many times. And then, so what I'm talking about is this little tiny like pioneer type cabin. And in the corner was a like hutch, like a corner hutch with 2 doors at the top and 2 doors at the bottom. And we'd walk past this thing. One of the team members rolling on the floor, taking all kinds of pictures. And then right at the end of the night, quite literally before about to leave, Leanne was doing the Estes, and she's talking away, and she's talking about, can you see me? I'm at the door. So she's just relaying what Spirit's saying. And we're like, we can't see you. Where are you? And I think it said it was in the doorway of the bedroom. So I was standing next to this corner cabinet with my back to everyone. And suddenly I hear Rachel be like, oh my God! And I turn around to see a door coming at me. And the cabinet door opened. And we're losing our minds and getting all excited. And the way that the cabinet door was really hard to open. And like I said, we'd gone past it. So then we're jumping up and down to see if it was movement somehow, and nothing was opening it. One of the curators, who was part of the Pioneer Village place, she came in and she's like, No, I don't know how that opens because I've been here X amount of time and it doesn't really open, whatever. And as she's saying that, the top door gently opens and we're like, what? It was so epic. And even she was like, oh, I don't know if she still works there, to be honest. I don't know if she was like, quit. But it was amazing.
It was.
I
I
just
still remember that.
Hold on. Yeah. So even though the entire night is a beautiful area, but it was very slow. That in itself, because it was just so like, oh my God, that happened.
It's always that one piece, that one experience, that one, thing we capture, anything. It's just always that one. And if it's only the one thing that happens, that's all worth it.
Exactly. And that kind of makes it a little bit more, I don't know if we want to say legit or not, but at least because we'd been there for so long. So, if it was just stuff going on all the time, you'd be like, oh, maybe this door's just loose. It keeps opening and closing. Well, not closing, but opening, but it was nothing, nothing. And then this door that never opens, slow, and it didn't like fly open. It just like as if someone was just opening it.
Yeah.
And then when the top one did it, oh my God, that was amazing. So yeah. Now, what about you? Because 20 years, Missy, you've been doing this. So there's got to be a few stories.
I have a lot of stories, but I don't know. Like, some of them are just because I've just had the opportunity to go to investigate. So, like Fort Henry, we investigated before ghost hunters went. Yeah. So that I think was probably one of my like most favorite experiences, was to be in the fort in the middle of the night with zero supervision.
They just let you free reign?
Free reign of the entire fort. We just had to stay out of the gunpowder room, stay out of the personal locker room, and watch out for the skunk. That was our 3 rules from security. Security was still there. They're always there in the summer. They always patrol, obviously, because people want to break in. But yeah, those were our 3 rules. And yeah, it was pretty. It's one of the opportunities that we'll probably never get again unless we pay a ton of money for, which we could talk about on a different podcast. But yeah, that was one of my like most favorite experiences. The place that shall not be named is also at the top because I went in there with a plan. I was like, this is what we're gonna do. We'll do this, this, this. And I walked in there and the plan went gone.
Literally. I think we're all just like, whoa. Yeah.
So I couldn't even, I didn't even have a plan anymore. I spent most of the night going, I don't know. Right. So that was probably one of my most recent ones. Fort Henry would be a little older. And I think another one of my most favorite was when we investigated the automotive museum in Oshawa for the first time. And the walkie-talkie went off and it said Cameron in the middle of the night. And yeah, that's on our website and stuff. And if you come to presentations, we always play it because it's definitely like a great EVP that we captured. Class A, like you can hear it. It's, some little girl yelling out for Cameron in the middle of the night. But I can go into a little more of that backstory, but that would take a whole episode. So I think we might just leave that as one episode.
Yes.
But another one is Black Creek Pioneer Village in Toronto that we got to investigate as well. Privately. Big, bucket list thing of mine. And that's where we also got another amazing EVP and then had that experience as well. At the Manse where, the Reverend was being saucy.
Yeah.
Because he was saucy, but we could talk about that on a later one too. I just don't want to get into it right now because they are doing their ghost walks and stuff with haunted walks, and people need to go and they need to experience it. So yeah, it's one of those things, but definitely right now, the place that shall not be named is pretty high up there.
It's hard for it not to be because we're still a year later going.
Literally a year. We investigated it for the first time. Would have been a year this past Saturday. That like literally 2 days ago. Yeah, because it
And
was.
I don't think there's a time that we don't all get together and somehow end up talking about it.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah.
It's really funny because we were just talking about it, and the person who runs it just liked something on our Instagram. I just got a notification on my fucking watch.
That's amazing. She's listening.
Oh,
It's
where's
time for us to go back.
She needs to get us a date still. No,
I know.
we're waiting. That's another thing too, is we don't push for things. You know what? We go on their schedule, location schedule. If they're busy, they're busy. You wait. Good things come to those who wait.
100%.
We've waited a
I'm not
lot.
sure how many dates we have left for this year anyway, so
Oh,
I don't know where we're
oh my
fitting.
gosh. Oh, it's gonna be, yeah.
There's that too.
I
We
don't
would
even
make
know.
time for that place.
Oh yeah. Right now, I think November 2nd is our first earliest date that we have available for anything. That's it.
Crazy. It really is.
It is crazy. So,
But I think that also speaks volumes. The fact that we have so many dates, and a lot of them I've seen come through are people contacting us now versus us always reaching out to people. So there's something else, is word is getting out and about us and the team, and now people are starting to come to us and be like, oh hey, I've heard from you from so and so, and I wonder if you would like to come. Like St. Mary's, we have 2 other places now from the one that we went there to, and they're like, yes, come back. I'm sure there will be more. Same with Minden.
We're like famous. We're famous in Minden. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but oh my gosh, my computer's gonna die. Hold on, I gotta get my Jay. Can you get me my thing? It just like sucked back all my battery.
Oh, what do they
Talk
say?
about dead people in my gray backpack. Thank you. Oh, wrong side. I don't know why it did that, but thanks. It's my work laptop.
Oh,
don't tell them I'm doing it. No, they don't care. They don't care. All they care is it comes back in one piece and it's not broken.
There you go.
So, all right, we're good. Whoa, slow-mo. It's like
that makes up for my robotics not too long ago.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's pretty much us in a nutshell. If you're looking to, like, I don't know, look us up. You can look up the Paranormal Seekers. We're on Facebook and Instagram. You can just type in the Paranormal Seekers or Paraseekers. Usually you will find us. Our website is www.theparanormalseekers.ca. And then we post pretty much everything there as well. We have TikTok. We're getting into TikTok now.
We're getting into the talk.
Yeah. So,
please bear in mind, I am from the late 1900s, so it's taking me some time to get down with the TikTok.
We're all from the 1900s now.
No, it's great.
We're silly.
Great.
It's fun. I can't wait for next year and everything that's coming.
Oh my gosh, I know. But you'll have to wait for another episode to find out why.
And then I can't wait to get Allison in here and have her tell, what her favorite stuff is and all that.
And I can't wait to see what background she's in.
I know.
She'll probably in a beach somewhere. Why not?
Maybe next time we'll change backgrounds. Maybe I'll find a creepy one. Ooh, a haunted house. Ooh, a cemetery.
Oh. Do they have those? They should. Why don't they?
Probably do. Listen, if you got a snowman in your background, there can be some dead person in mine.
Is that what I have? I don't actually. Well, I don't have my glasses on.
You got a
snowman. I can kind of see that it's snowing.
He's got a scarf on.
It was just the better option. Sorry. Hello. There we go.
I was gonna say, what the heck? You stuff just in your head.
This has been a great first podcast. Okay, just getting
a lot of editing,
technical stuff out. You'll edit it, and it'll just be like us being like, "Hello," and then my background changes, and then we're like, Goodbye.
Let's see. I just got a bunch of like stuff.
What do you mean?
Oh, just people messaging on us. TikTok, you have one new like.
Weren't we just talking about TikTok? Ooh, creepy.
Yeah, well, I posted that Ameliasburg video today. I was like, oh, maybe we'll see. It was crap, but you know, I did it.
Interesting.
And then I got one for Lang's saved in the drafts because I didn't think posting two on the same day would be good.
Oh.
Because they're two different events, right? So I don't want people to get confused.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think
well,
right now
people,
we're at 45 minutes.
yeah.
Yay.
I think for our first one, that's all
Yeah.
people need.
Yeah. So what do you want to do? What should we talk about for the next podcast? Like I think maybe
I think we were going to talk about the equipment that we use.
Yeah.
Our favorites, what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah. I think that'll be good. We'll talk about, you know, and then Ryan's new like ghost tube jigger. Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. I just saw the VR thing and was like, no, I'm gonna vomit. You're like, there's a ghost.
It's literally a VR thing. You just put up, but it doesn't move. The pictures just show up. They just like they're not like boom in your face. They like fade in and then they'll fade out. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Weird. I haven't even heard of that. So I'm interested to hear about that on the next one.
Yeah. I'll have to look more into it because I didn't even know it existed either. Ryan's just like, oh, I saw this and this and this, and then I had it, but I don't even want to know how much he paid for it. But it's really, 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 really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely, like it's some of the images. Like I don't know how I don't know how they figure it out. But when we were just at Kawartha Settlers Village on Saturday for a little private investigation, thanks to Michelle and her crazy experience. So we went and visited the general store, and he sat down and he put it on and he did the SDs immediately. And the first image he got was like of a man, and was like from like here up, like middle of his face up, and his head was like half in, and he had like blood on his head. Yeah, we hadn't even started, and he's like talking about this, and I'm like, how the heck did you get that already?
Is there a way like to transfer the image that the person sees onto a TV?
He can get the pictures. He just has to pay for the premium subscription. But yeah, he's going to. So we'll get to see all the pictures and stuff. So that should be interesting. Yeah. Okay. So we'll see about that. We'll talk about that on the next podcast. About this crazy piece of equipment, and like I always say it, right? Like before, I was really like app wise, I didn't really care for them, but now I'm just seeing it as it's like another tool in the toolbox. It's like we use it. Does it work? Maybe. Does it not work? Probably not. But you know what? It's another tool in the toolbox, and it's something that we can use and try. So, but we can get more into that for the next episode.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So we will do that. And yeah, for all of those watching and listening, thanks. We're just getting into this, so it's kind of crazy. But we do. So if you have any suggestions, or if you want to share a story or your own ghost story, you can send us an email at paranormalpodcast@gmail.com. So it's PAREHNORMAL podcast at gmail.com. And we will get we'll get a Facebook page and all that up soon. We will probably have a page on the Paranormal Seekers website just dedicated to Paranormal, because it's a division of the group, if you want to call it. So it's just to have that little section on the website. But, if we get any bigger, we might just get our own website.
Exactly. I might just buy this background.
Hey, this one.
I'll be there. Yes.
Maybe I'll buy this house wherever it is. I don't know.
Yeah, lovely.
It's kind of foggy out there.
Because it's Canada and it's about to snow, apparently. Coming, look.
We're in like second summer now, or whatever you want to call it.
Beautiful.
But Yeah. So, all right, guys, thanks for
All
listening,
right.
and we will talk again soon. So stay
Yeah.
tuned, and then send us your suggestions and your stories. So
Mhm.
okay, bye.
Bye.